out on a bender last night.
All right, guys. Good morning and welcome to our cruise call. I still can't believe April's almost over. I don't know about you guys, but these months are flying by. I feel like it was just January. I feel like it was just New Year's Eve and we were ringing in the new year and we're almost into May already. It's crazy. But I have the topic of being in a funk that I want to talk about. But first I want to go through some, team shout outs that we like to do and welcoming new people. So let me share my screen really quick with you all and be prepared because I am going to open up the call for people to chat because I know many people are feeling functified like myself sometimes. All right.
Go get Papa.
Okay, can everybody see my screen? Okay, good. So, and it won't, I don't know why it won't go. There we go. Okay, so first I want to do the updates and infos that I always do here on the calls. So just a reminder that this month is going to be the only month for the 160. That would be really cool if they made that like a forever price for the All Access Challenge Pack. But for right now, the Spring into Health ends April. So we want to make sure that the people that we have spoken to that have showed an interest in doing anything Beachbody related, or that showed an interest when the price was $200, but they haven't pulled that trigger, the fact that the price dropped might help them pull that trigger. So you want to make sure you reach out to them, let them know like, hey, I just wanted to follow up. I know that you were super interested in the All Access bundle and the price was $200 when we talked when you were interested. And I just want to let you know that until the end of April, it's $160. So, however you want to word it, but make sure you're reaching out to them and you're letting them know that. Also, reminder that our new flavors are here. I am actually going to be getting a scoop from my mom today of the vegan vanilla. So I don't know if anybody's tried any of the new vegan flavors yet. If you have, unmute yourself and let us know what you think. If you haven't, I'm going to be trying the vanilla and I will let you all know the difference. My mom said so far she likes it way better than the regular vanilla. She feels that she said not as gritty, but then she said it's not really, I don't know how to describe it, but she said it's almost like it blends better. So the only way I could think is the same way I feel about the chocolate. I feel like the powder is more fine, so it blends better. She didn't tell me too much difference in the taste. I don't know how she made it, but she's going to give me a scoop so I can try it so I can compare the two. So I'll be definitely doing 2 shakes today because I'm drinking one now. And then that way I can compare and try the other one to see the difference. We have the launch of the UV2. I'm having a hard time personally sharing a lot about this program because I can't connect with this program. It's really the first Beachbody program that I really couldn't connect with that well. And I was so bummed because I missed it when it went on Beachbody On Demand. I didn't see the update. I didn't see it in the infos in the back office. And then I saw somebody post it, but I didn't see it till the next day. So I don't know if it's still previewed, if the preview's still in Beachbody On Demand. If it is, I am going to play it and try it a little bit because I don't want to knock it until I try it. But I'm having a hard time connecting, and I think it's the way they're advertising it. But don't forget that launches in May. We have Shift Shop launching in July at Summit. So I don't know how that's going to go down. I don't know if during Summit it's going to automatically show up in people's All Access or after Summit it's going to show. I'm not sure. But I do know that we can buy it at Summit, but all of us have All Access, so I don't know why we would do that unless we use it as a giveaway. And don't forget that your Success Club prize for this month is the Team Beachbody backpack, which is super cute. It's like a grayish with some whites and blacks mixed in. It's like a cloth material. So if you've already hit Success Club this month, you've earned that backpack. So I'm excited for that backpack to come because that's going to be how I travel my office everywhere. And then don't forget this month and next month you have the availability to get yourself into the Success Club party in New Orleans. And so for all my New Orleans peeps, also an update that I totally forgot to put on here. I have been in contact with my shirt guy. He is in process of putting something together this weekend and he's going to let me know. The minimum order we do have to do is 12. I am opening up to the whole team for anybody that wants to try to order a shirt, but I'm going to do, different styles. So I think I'm going to put a sweatshirt on there in case anybody wants to get like a zip up sweatshirt or a hoodie sweatshirt, you know, because it's always cold in a lot of that stuff. And also t-shirts and tank tops and things like that. So you might be able to get, if you wanted, more than one team shirt for New Orleans. I know I'm going to get a couple because he's like, I was like, I think there's like 9 or 10 of us. He's like, well, the minimum order is 12. I was like, well, I already know I'm probably going to order like 3 different styles. So we're good. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I have not forgotten about trying to design a shirt. I kind of just told him that I wanted our team logo on there, that I wanted Summit 2017 on there, and I'm leaving it up to him to design it to see what he comes up with. So keep an eye out on the team page for some of that info, and I'll put it in our message thread. To welcome our new coaches, I wanted to welcome you all to the team. I don't think we have any of our new ones on this call. I don't know if any other people had hopped on. I know Rachel was on last Saturday. But I wanted to welcome you guys. I know a lot of you are more for the discount probably than for business building, but that's how most of us do start this business. So just welcome. Anything you need, we are all here. You don't have to just go to your coach. Come to all of us. We're all here for you. That's how our family, that's how we roll. We're just one big family. We like to help each other. So anything you need, we are here. We still have Natalie as a business starter on the Leadership Ladder. So great job on keeping that momentum. Like I have said before, when we get to this slide, I have done a team call about the Leadership Ladder. In the past, it is on my YouTube channel. I have also, in the back office, if you look where it shows your points, there is a tab right next to it where it shows Success Club. There is a tab that says Leadership Ladder, and it does show you how to get to the next realm of the Leadership Ladder. My favorite slide. This one's my favorite to always make. This is where I get to give shout outs to everybody for everything that they're doing in their business, and for how many people that they're helping. We've actually changed 6 lives. I never updated that on the slide so far for this month. And that is awesome. I can't wait. I want our team to get back to where we're putting double digits in that life-changing spot. I think that was like around the summer last year where we were doing like 13 and 15. It was amazing. But great job, Natalie, for hitting Success Club. So you've already earned your backpack. And Tara, I love seeing that you have points on that board. So I wanted to tell you guys, great job for helping people so far this month, and keep going. I know that when Tara and I did our call yesterday, we were talking about inviting, because when I do my calls with you guys, the one question I always ask is, okay, where are you at with what you need from me in your business? How can I help you? What do you need me for? So we talked about inviting, and I told her how sometimes inviting doesn't necessarily have to be that you're just inviting them to one specific challenge group. Sometimes an inviting can be something as simple as you letting them know what you do and asking if they know someone, if them or someone that they know can benefit from what you do. So like one thing that I sent to people is I was like, hey girl, I know we've been talking for a couple months and I just realized like I never told you what I do, and you or someone you know might benefit from it. And then I just explain, I'm a health and fitness coach. I help people all over the world virtually in a balanced life, healthy, balanced lifestyle, to where it's a healthier lifestyle, but they don't have to act like they're going into a bikini competition, and so I just wanted to let you know that that's what I do in case you're looking for help or you're looking for guidance. I like to use the word guidance more than help because, I don't know, I just feel it goes over a little bit better. But in case you're looking for guidance in that, or maybe you know someone that's been looking for guidance, or if no, maybe a few days from now, so you're going to be sitting at your desk and you're going to hear somebody say something, and then maybe you could think of me, and I would love it if you wouldn't mind referring me or at least connecting me with that person so I can talk to them. I try to help as many people as I can each month. Something that simple. It doesn't come off very salesy. It just comes off true to the nature of what I'm trying to portray, is getting it out there of what I do and helping as many people as I can every month. And that's considered an invite. You're telling them what you do and you're inviting them to be a part of it. You don't necessarily have to say, hey, I have a crock pot group going next week and it's free. You want to join? It doesn't have to be inviting them to a specific group, because then you can, girls, stop. Then you can, from there, if they're like, oh my God, yes, it's like the perfect timing. I was just telling my husband that I needed to start. I needed to do something because I can't stand the way I feel on my skin. Then you could start asking questions, informing them with knowing how you can help them best. Then once you form them and know how you can help them best by the questions you ask, okay, my next thing is, all right, well, tell me a little bit about you and your lifestyle. You know, do you eat somewhat healthy now, or do you need 100% nutrition change? Do you do a little bit of fitness now, or do you need to add it? Like, tell me a little bit about you and your life, what your schedule looks like, so I could better help you. And I actually had one girl say, okay, wow, nobody's ever asked me these questions before. Like, she was taken back and surprised that I actually wanted to know her schedule morning and wanted to know all these things about her so I can help her. So it flows a little bit easier, and it takes a little bit of pressure off of inviting when you start just by telling them what you do and asking if it's something that they could benefit from. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Okay, I wanted to open up so you guys can unmute for a second if you have a congratulations or a shout out. I wanted to shout out, well, Tara, for getting some points on the board this month. I'm very proud of you for that. And I also wanted to shout out Wit, because I've been watching her with the quitting of smoking. And I think that's a really, really, really big deal. So I wanted to give you a quick shout out for doing that. I know for a little while, the shout out page, you know, I was putting pictures and asking you guys to tell me ahead of time where you were, if you finished a program and stuff like that. But I'd rather open the call, and you guys can either give a shout out to somebody else that you've seen doing something well, whether they doing great posts or something like that, or if you want to give yourself a shout out because you've just finished a program, or you're proud of yourself because you're sticking to a program and you're doing your workouts every day. And I want to open up this part of the call for positivity. So if anybody has a shout out that they want to do, go ahead and unmute yourself and do the shout out, and I'll wait a couple minutes.
I'll do a shout out to one of my new coaches, Jennifer. She was doing Orange Theory and completely canceled that. She wanted to start with 4 to 4, but ended up doing, I think, Insanity. She's 3 weeks in. She's already seeing results, more results than she's going to Orange Theory for an hour every day. Thank you, though. And she's getting results and sticking to the program.
That's awesome. Yeah, she had she sent me a friend request, so we've been chatting back and forth, and she's like, this is the best decision I have ever made in my life. And she told me, she's like, I was going to Orange Theory. She's like, and I just canceled it. She's like, because I don't feel that I need to go anymore. She's like, this is so much easier. I get it done faster, and you know, it doesn't take as much time.
Yeah,
so
she's got a bunch of kids, and
exactly, that's what she was saying. It's easier for her because she's home. She doesn't have to leave or not do her workout because there's something else going on. She can squeeze it in now because she's home.
Yeah.
So
She's
yeah.
like, I do it in my bathroom. She's like, I do it in the bathroom and I take a shower, get dressed.
Yep. Yep. She's doing great. She was like, this is the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah.
She's doing awesome. Yeah, it's funny that you had brought her up because me and her were messaging on Facebook yesterday.
Yeah, I told her to find you.
Yeah, she did. She found me. And then I sent her, you know, thanking her for finding me. And then we were talking, and then she's like, yeah, I signed up with Natalie. I was like, yeah, I know. I recognize your name. It was cute. Yeah, she's super sweet.
No. Yeah.
She's super, super sweet. Does anybody else have a shout out before we go into the next part of the call?
Yeah, I want to shout out Christina. She's been, first of all, she's kicking ass on her fitness journey, but the posts that she's been doing have been awesome. Like that post that I had told her this, but the post that she did with the before and after picture, I was driving home in the car with coming from my mother-in-law's house, and I looked at it and I just started crying. But I wasn't like, I felt like my sister like did something crazy good, you know? So I just want to say that I'm really proud of you for putting yourself out there with that post. That post was like huge. And then the post with the dress on, that you looked stunning. So
thank you. Yeah, that post, I even started crying after because I had never like publicly said like that I had battled thoughts of suicide when I was younger. So I looked at my husband, I just started crying. I'm like, I've never said that. I've never even told that to my parents. Like, I've never even like said that to anybody. So, you know, like if anything I've learned, it's just to post more about transformation and like more about just personal journey. So that's what I've been just trying to do. So, but thank you, girl. Yeah, I know she did reach out to me, but I wanted to shout out Tanya. I don't know if it's one of your, well, it is one of your challengers in our Spring Into Fitness group. Missy, I think is her name. She's been posting her workouts, her accountability every time she does Country Heat. So she's just been very active in the group. And
Melanie.
Melanie, thank you. Yeah, Melanie. And she's just like, I even sent her like a personal message just to like kind of like congratulate her and just tell her she was really kicking ass in there. So I just wanted to shout out to her.
She is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And it's funny how me and her met too. She friend requested me on Facebook, and she had a coach previously. She actually did coaching, but more of just like the discount and sharing a little bit. And she just, I guess her and her coach just didn't really connect. She stopped the coaching and stopped the shakes and everything like that. And we had talked a few times. Yeah, she's kicking butt. I text with her like every day. Every time she posts, I'm like, I'm so proud of you. You're doing so good.
Yeah.
You know, because I tell them when they start these groups, you know, use it for accountability, you know, because I do like what I do with Tara. I'm like, send me those sweaty selfies, you know, but I was like, but you don't have to send it. If you want to post it in the group, I'm going to see it. And then you're going to know that I'm watching and that I see that you're doing it every day. You know, because I like the groups to be active, but yeah, she's so active in there.
Yeah, she's doing really well.
She is doing really, really well. Did anybody else have another shout out?
I do.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh boy.
She says, uh-oh. Go ahead.
Well, the shout outs to all of you for giving Christina a lot of motivation and for her to do everything that she does, because, you know, and when she hears it from her husband every day, it's just hearing it from her husband. When she hears it from a group of people that she can obviously lean on and speak to and share the same interests and believe in the same things, then it obviously helps out a lot. So shout out to all of you.
Thank you, Albert. Yeah, it is. It definitely, when you can hear it from your spouse, or it's the same thing. Like you can hear it from your mom a million times.
Albert. Make everybody cry.
Yeah.
Dang it, why does he have to be like that? Now I got to do something nice for him later.
Oh my God.
It's true. Like, you have somebody, like you said, like your parent or somebody's always telling you, yeah. But when you hear it from somebody else, it's like, it's different. The same thing with kids. Like I tell my friends, you tell them, because if I tell them not to do it, they won't listen to me.
It's so funny.
You
My
know?
friend tells me that all the time. She's like, well, when you cook this, and this, my kids eat it and they come home, they're like, oh, Miss Tanya makes the best dinners. And they'll be like, yeah, what'd you have? And she's like, I tried making that 3 days ago and you wouldn't eat it. I don't know what she does with it, but she makes the best dinners. She's like, or if I tell them something and they won't listen, she's like, she tells me to tell them, you're going to get the truck. You tell them, they'll listen to you. And it's the same thing. I do the same thing to her. I'm like, okay, well, me and Kayla talked about this and I told her this, but I don't think she heard me. Will you tell her? It's the same thing. I don't know what it is. I think when
I do that with my sister-in-law. When my kids won't eat, I call them. I'm like, can you tell them to eat?
Exactly. It's like you hear it from somebody else, and I don't know why it's like that, but hearing that made me very happy, as I'm sure it made everybody else very happy and teary-eyed, because that's what this is about. That's how teams should be, you know, that we have each other for everything in life, you know, no matter what it is, and to push each other up instead of dragging each other down. So that's awesome. That's awesome. And Christina, you are doing a great job. I love your posts. The way that you're sharing, you could tell that you tweaked the way that you're posting certain things and sharing certain things, and it's going awesome. It's going awesome. Does anybody else have any shout outs before we move on? I guess one of my dogs had something to say. All right, let me move on here. Okay. So the funk, it happens to all of us. And it's not fun when it happens, but sometimes you don't even know you're in a funk. If you're like me, you're really, really, really good at putting on the mask. Like in the movie The Mask, where the mask's on so good it becomes his face. So when you do that all the time, sometimes you don't realize you're in a funk, or sometimes you're in the funk for a while before it's like a brick to the face that you're in that funk. So there's so many ways, there's so many things, feelings of it if you're in a funk. Like for me to know that I'm in a funk is when I'd rather just lie around all day in my bed, or just want to sleep all the time. Because that's not me. I usually don't even sit still for more than 5 minutes, let alone want to just go lay down. So if any of these feelings of sadness or not feeling complete, or feeling of uncertainty, of not sure if what you're doing right now or what's going on in your life right now is like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like all of those things. Or if you're feeling drained, burning your candle at both ends. Some trigger things for me that I found to know when I'm at that point of being drained or being like totally burnt, is I go back to how I used to be as a mom back in the day, to where I feel like I'm yelling all the time. And that's only coming because there's unhappiness inside me, and I'm portraying it that way because I don't talk to people about it. So any of these feelings are major triggers for being in a funk. And being in a funk isn't always that you're depressed and need medication. It's just that you're in a funk and need to figure out what's causing those feelings, what's making you in that funk. I was actually texting with Amy the other day about all the things I was feeling, and it was helping me do what I tell everybody else to do. And she put my shit right back on me. She's like, you need to do what you tell me to do. You need to get out a paper. I need to write everything and do that emotional dump and pinpoint what's the one thing that's causing all those feelings. And I did that. And I was actually like, wow, that's crazy, to figure out what was causing all the feelings. So I just wanted to kind of like give you guys, not that you don't know when you're in a funk, but sometimes it's hard for people to realize they're in a funk, especially myself, because I'm good at faking it. I'm good at not letting people know that I'm going through hard times, because that's what I did for 13 years. So it's kind of like, it's very common for me. I never wanted my family to know that I was miserable in my life back in the day. So I just put on the happy mask and everybody thought everything was good with me. So it's a common place for me to go to when I'm feeling this way, and I don't know how to verbalize it because I don't really know why I feel the way I feel. So I just kind of go through the motions and fake it till you make it type thing. But after a while, the fake it till you make it, sometimes you just keep faking it, the make it never comes. And that's where you need to, if you feel like you're faking it for a really long time, you need to really do what I did the other day, take a step back or reach out to somebody or do something to try to figure it out, because that's where it'll start to spiral from there. And you don't want to get to that spiral point. You don't want your life to go all over the place. So I was doing a lot of reading and stuff when I was going through, and I'm still trying to figure some things out, but I was doing a lot of reading. And of course, everything said the same thing, that the first step in getting out of the funk is you got to find what is causing it. You need to find the root of the problem. Because what happens, and I don't know if when I say this, you guys are going to be like, oh my God, yep, I do that. You think it's one thing. So you're just like, this, and this. It's like, this bothers me. This needs to be changed. If you change this, I'm going to feel fine. I don't like. Back in the day was, I don't like my job. If I change my job, it'll be fine. Well, I would change my job and everything would be fine for a little bit. And then I'd go right back to feeling the same way, because changing my job wasn't the root of the problem. So the way I found to find that root of the problem was to do, I always still to this day, I'll do what I call a mind dump, where I feel like I have 1,000,001 things running through my head. And I want to clear my head. I literally will take pen to paper, and every thought that goes through my mind, I just write it down. No matter how stupid it is, even if it's got to take a shower, got to do laundry, whatever thought goes through my mind, I'm writing it down, because I feel like once I write it down, it's out of my mind. So I was always used to the terminology of doing a mind dump. So then, when I was helping some other people go through some things, when they were having hard times with stuff or like emotional things, I would say do an emotional dump, meaning take pen to paper and write down everything you're feeling. Everything you're feeling inside. If it's something you're mad about, write it. If it's something you're happy about, write it. Whatever you're feeling, write it all down and get it all out. Because once it's on paper, it puts it into a little bit more perspective. You could see it more. Like now I'm going through my list. I went through it a little bit last night, and I'm actually crossing things off the list that I have no control over. Things that there's nothing I could do to change that specific situation, because those are the things that I need to not put back into my emotions, because why? I can't do anything about it. There's nothing I could do about certain situations as to why I feel emotionally the way that I feel. So if I show myself on paper, that's voided. That needs to not be an emotion anymore, because I can't change it. So these are just some steps. And this is why I wanted to do this call with you guys, because I wanted to share with you that everybody goes through it. No matter where you are in life, no matter where you are in a business, even if you're doing $1 million business and you're working $1 million business, you go through these times, especially when it's slow time in a business. A lot of times that can trigger going into a funk. And then sometimes it's just like a spiral effect of a few different things that, it's like when you when you start a snowball and you roll it down the hill, and as it goes down, it picks up more snow and more snow and more snow. And it started this big and ends this big. Sometimes that's what happens in funks. It starts with something this small, and your funk ends up this big, because as you're rolling down the hill in your funk, you're just pulling other things in life right on into it. And for me, this is how it's been helping me get out of it. I've never written down the emotional side before. I've done an emotion journal, but it's been more for like positive things, because I tend to have, sometimes I don't always look at the positive and stuff. Like I'm looking for the things people don't do. I'm not looking at the things that people have done or they are doing. So I try to keep a positive journal of, at the end of the day, I write down great things that people in my life have done. And not necessarily for me, just things that I saw them do that were positive, try to help my mind stay positive. But ways to help yourself feel a little bit better, once you do all that writing it down and stuff like that, and I hid my paper so nobody could find it in the house, because I don't really want everybody to know everything that I feel, is to do something for yourself that's non-work related. Because you truly need to give yourself time off. And that means here too, because if you're anything like me, while I'm doing stuff for me, getting my hair done, getting my nails done, my wheels never stop turning about business, ways that I can do things, different things that how I can share things differently. I'm going on 4 years of doing this now. I don't want to keep sharing the same old way. I want to keep sharing the same things, because I believe in Beachbody and I believe in the programs, but I want to share it in all different types of ways. So my mind never turns off. Even when I'm sleeping, I'm sure I'm thinking about it, because some of my dreams have to do with stuff about work. So we need to make sure that we take alone time. I loved this saying that when we fail to give ourselves alone time, it's not a matter of if we burn out, it's a matter of when. And that is so true. It is so true. You will get burned out very, very fast if you are not doing for you. If you're constantly pouring out and giving to everybody else and doing for everybody else, your challengers, your family, your spouse, and you're good, giving, but you're forgetting to fill with stuff for you. And it's whatever you like to do. Whether it be, you know, taking a walk or watching a movie or watching a show by yourself or doing a girls' night out or a couple's night out or just going out on a date with your spouse with no phone so the kids can't text you, or, you know, putting your phone on airplane mode or putting it in another room when you're spending time with your family, because time with your family is what refills your cup. Whatever it could be, it's so different for everybody. So you need to know the things that make you overjoyed. You need to know the things that don't just put a smile on your face, but put that smile feeling on your heart. Those are the things you need to do more of. And you need to make sure that it's a little off balanced. You need to do more of that and a little less of the throwing out, so you never empty your cup to get burnt out. And that's a hard balance to find. When you find it, stick with it. I know that for me, my thing was sitting out in a lounge chair for a little while and just really just getting into a book or listening to a book, taking a little nap out in the lounge chair. That totally overflowed my cup, because that is the only time that it is quiet for me. Now my workouts are quiet because I work out so freaking early. I don't think anybody else in the world is even up yet. But that was my zen, because this thing goes off all day long. My iPad goes off all day long, and don't get me wrong, I love it, because then that means I'm doing something right in my business because I'm busy. But without remembering the things I need to do to refill, I will get burnt out. I have gotten burnt out. And I want to make sure that nobody else gets to that point, or if you're in that point, I want to make sure I can help you get out of that point, or at least steer you in the right direction for you to find the ways that you're going to help yourself get out of it. Another thing, time with friends. Even if you don't want to go out, because trust me, there's times where I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to put my pajamas on and go lay in bed. I just want to put my pajamas on and watch General Hospital, you know. But sometimes you have to force yourself, because once you get there, you're going to have a great time, and you're going to be like, I am so happy I did this. I'm so happy I went out, because it's something you need. But when you're in that funk, you feel like you don't want to do anything. So I mean, seriously, you feel like you don't want to do anything. And I'm sure some of you have felt that way, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's almost like the commercials you see when people are depressed, okay? And they just lay around, they don't want to do anything. That's how I feel sometimes that I want to be. Like, I just want to go lay around and do nothing. And I think that's why I like laying out or going to the beach, because I reference those things to doing nothing. I reference it to doing nothing. Now, however, I will read a book or I'll listen to a book, because I can't just lay for a long period of time and not do something. But reading a book refills my cup, which is really weird, because anyone that knows me knows I've always hated to read. But I've gotten so into some of these personal development books that I enjoy reading them, because they're really showing me different paths, and it's bringing out different things in myself and making me go back to some old emotions and deal with them, because I still have a lot of old emotions from my past that I never dealt with. I never faced it because I didn't have personal development at that time. So all I did was push them down deep, and some of them resurface. When certain things happen in life now, I get the old Tanya feeling that I used to feel, and that is because, and I'm like just having this revelation as I'm talking to you right now about it. That's because I never faced it. So I think a lot of times some of my feelings are times two, because it's a feeling of what's happening now. And it's an old feeling that comes back up because I felt like that before. And my emotions get times two, because there's sometimes like that I've talked to either Tara or Amy, and I've said, and I've even cried to Alex, I don't know why I feel like this. My life's great. Business is good. The kids are healthy, you know, everything's good. I don't know why. And it's got to be some old feelings that I've never faced. I got to face those demons and get them out. So it's just, funks are scary. And when you're in them, you feel like you're all by yourself. Even though you're not by yourself, and you have this whole crew around you, and you have your family, and you have your spouse or your significant other, but you still feel like you're by yourself. And that's why I wanted to do this call, because you're not by yourself. If anybody knows how these feelings feel, I'm right there. And just text me. If anybody's feeling like that, text me. Don't feel like you're bothering me. When any of you guys contact me, I never have that feeling of, oh, my phone always goes off. I'm like, yay, I get to talk to one of my friends, so it's like I'm on a friend date. So don't ever feel like, I don't want to bother Tanya. I know she's so overwhelmed. I don't want to text her and ask her this. Please don't ever feel like that. When it's you guys, I enjoy those conversations. And sometimes just chatting with you guys makes me feel better. So I don't want you guys to ever feel like you can't reach out or anything like that. But I want to make sure that you guys are doing things for yourself. So I do have a call to action, but before I do that call to action, I want to make sure that you guys are being your reason. So I wrote that little thing on the bottom. I just kind of thought of it as I did the slides, because everybody on this call, everybody in life is someone else's reason to smile. But I think we forget to be our own reason to smile. And we need to be that. Like, we do certain things for other people because we want to see that smile on their face. We want to make them happy. We want to make their heart full. But we forget to do that for ourselves. And it's super important to make sure that we do those things for ourselves. Let me stop the share here. Because that is filling your cup back. That is putting all that positivity back in that needs to be put back in. So I have a call to action to everybody on this call. And it doesn't obviously have to be done right away, but it needs to be done. I'm getting some puppy love. It needs to be done when you're feeling those feelings of being in a funk or being really down or anything like that. Is I want you to take pen to paper, and I want you to do that emotional dump, and I want you to really be able to digest it. You need to be able to look at that paper and look at each individual thing without any, I guess, puffing of the chest, you can say. Don't defend any of it. You have to be able to read it as if you're reading somebody else's and you're helping somebody through it. You have to be able to look at everything on that paper as if it's not yours. And you need to be able to give that advice to yourself. If you need to write it all down and give it to somebody else if you can't do that. But I just don't want anybody, because this business is a very hard business. And this business is the type of business that can get you into those funks. It can get you questioning yourself. It can get you asking, is this really meant for me? Am I really supposed to do this? Because it's quiet. No one's answering me. Am I not doing this right? Maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm sharing and I'm getting such a great transformation, and I'm working out every day, and I'm watching what I eat, and I'm drinking my superfood, and I'm sharing everything, and nobody's joining me. So this business is the type of business that will make you question yourself all the time. All the time. Is it an amazing business? Yes. Is the products Beachbody has awesome? Absolutely. I believe wholeheartedly in this business. I mean, look, they dropped the price of the All Access Challenge Pack to $160. They know they're still going to make money. They know they're still going to profit, but they did it to help more people. They're in this to help more people. That's what I love about this company, is that they're not just in it to make as much money as they can. Like, they know by dropping this price, they're going to help more people. And then these people are going to see a transformation. So that's going to change their lives. And then they're going to share it and change other people's lives. And it's going to be the compound effect. But it's an easy business to question yourself. And it's an easy business that can, once you start questioning yourself, that's when you slowly start to go into that funk. And then you start like looking at all and picking apart all different aspects of your life. And before you know it, it's like nothing's good. So that's why I wanted to do this call, because I know it's trending a lot in our team, not just our team, but like the big umbrella in the Fit family. There's a lot of people that I talk to that are feeling this way over the last, like, since the beginning of the year. And I know it has a lot to do with the business aspect, because that's that one common denominator that we all have. So I just want to make sure that you guys just keep digging into that personal development. And if you are feeling that funk, if you are feeling any of that, like, I don't think I want to do this anymore, anything like that, make sure you do that emotional dump. Make sure that you can really, really, really dissect it all. And figure out what the root is. And figure out what the root is. And if the root is your business for some reason, if it is that it's too draining for you or anything like that, there are ways to revamp it to where you can make it better and you can make it what you want. So I just want to open up the floor for anybody to talk about anything they need to talk about. If you're feeling like this right now and you feel that you just need to kind of get it off your chest or let other people know that you're going through it or anything that you want, I just want to open up the floor for anybody to talk before we end the call.
Me, I do. I think my biggest, where I start to question myself a lot of the times and lately, I mean, I don't know if you saw my post earlier, I think in the week, but like I go into the month and I have all these people that are like, oh my God, I'm going to do it. Get me, hit me up on this date, get me on this date, and then you get all excited, you're messaging them, they're all about it. And then they ghost you, like they just disappear, and then it's like, you get back to them and like, oh no, I'm going to do it. And like, that's the frustrating thing. And then like I had two that like kind of just bailed out on me that I thought for sure were going to sign up. And then they just, at least they told me no, they didn't just disappear on me. So I think I did start to get frustrated. And then, I just started to realize that was me. I did the same thing to Tanya. And, like one of the things that, I even talked to my husband about is what we're learning is that you can't force somebody to start, obviously, you can't, if it's not their time, then it's not their time. I can't force anybody to go on this journey with me. And then even if they do it hesitantly, then it's not going to be productive anyway. So I've just kind of like, it's hard to do because at the end, I do want to make this a business for myself. I do want to stop teaching because I'm going crazy with that. But so yeah, that's been my frustration lately. That's like what's been really hard for me is that, like I think I'm going in one direction and then it's kind of like everything just stops. So like even today I had one girl I was talking to yesterday and she's like, send me the link. I'm going to sign up tonight. I have to do it. I have to stop procrastinating. And it's like still nothing. So that's been my frustration lately that I'm sure other people, and even you, Tanya, probably go through still. So, yeah.
Yep. I go through that all the time. I had a girl that was supposed to, she told me to call her yesterday and we would do the sign up. And she's somebody that was supposed to sign up like each month. It's like, yep, I'm going to do it. Yep, I'm going to do it. And this time we actually set a call and I called her, but her phone was weird. It was almost like she had like an answering service say, hold on, I will connect you, almost like an operator. And then she's like, it's ringing. Okay, it's still ringing. And then she's like, well, no one's answering. Do you want to leave a message? I'm like, no, that's fine. I'll just message her. So I messaged her on Facebook and she hasn't replied. So she does it all the time. I get it all the time. But the one thing I started doing is when they tell me no, and it's somebody that has showed an interest or it's somebody that has told me, yeah, I got to do this. And then they do no, I come out and ask them now. I'm like, if you don't mind me asking, what is making you change your mind? Because last we talked, you were very adamant that you want to do this. So I just want to know what's holding you back. Because sometimes it could be something as simple as like they say, I'm afraid to fail. Mm-hmm. And then I come right out and tell them now. And I'm like, well, by not trying, it's a failure in some point because you're not even giving yourself the opportunity. This is something you wanted to do. This is something that you have to do for you. And then you're choosing not to do it because you're afraid.
Yeah, I did with, actually, I just asked her, I go, can I, if you don't mind me asking, can I just ask why you changed your mind? And she said, I'm just going to try a couple of videos on my own and do my own thing. And I said, okay, well, this is somebody through our Spring into Fitness group. And I was like, okay, well, just know you still have your free membership. You're still part of our team. You're still, get the nutrition blog online, so I'm like, you're still with us. So don't, bail, like you're still part of the team. So yeah.
Maybe if you want, offer to her to go into the summer group, the summer slim down.
Yeah, I did.
Because she's going to be doing fitness anyways. And then maybe by seeing everybody post the different workouts or little video clips of some of the workouts, it might really intrigue her to be like, oh, this, you know, they're really getting great results.
Kim's whole thing is she's recently divorced, like went through a huge, massive divorce, really nasty divorce. And so she's gone through that. She's like kind of in and out of herself. She went through Advocare. She likes still some of the products at Advocare she uses. It sounded like she liked the Shakeology, but Kim's very easily, not manipulated, but what do you call it? Persuaded easily by what she's around. So she's a very outgoing individual. She would be the perfect like coach for this business. Problem is she needs to she has to focus, and she focuses on what's in front of her. I went to high school with Kim. So Kim lives in Tampa. If Kim was here, it'd be one thing. Living up in Tampa, she needs to be around somebody all the time. All the people that are around her do Ideal Shakes, Advocare, and she has personal trainers that are friends. So those are the things that, you know, she has people constantly telling her, look, don't do that. It's a waste of money. You can do this with me and we can make, you know. So that's the tough part with Kim. It's not that she probably doesn't like it and she doesn't want to do it. It's the fact that she's easily persuaded by whoever's right next to her. She needs to have someone right next to her. So that's the biggest issue with her. And that's been a lot of issues with a lot of the people that I know that Christina's been getting in touch with. And then some of those people, you know, it's the ongoing issue of we want to do it, and they know they need to do it, and they want to do it, and they look for the quick fix. And the biggest competitive thing out there right now is the Ideal Shake. The Ideal Shake is everywhere I go. At work, all I've been hearing about is I do Ideal Shakes. I do Ideal Shakes. I do Ideal Shakes. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. And I leave it at that. And they go, well, what's, you know, because I'm not trying to push them on it. I want them asking me about it. So then they ask me, you know, well, what is it that you're exactly doing? And I said, well, this is what it is. And it's beyond just a shake. So let me explain to you what I do. Oh, well, okay. Well, that sounds awesome. Well, just let me know when you're ready then, because I'm not going to keep asking you if you want to.
Exactly. I'm not going to waste my time.
He said, you know, like I have this one guy who used to do it. His wife's Lucy Lopez on Power 96. Mm-hmm. And she was on Shakeology. So the two of them were doing it. Then he just felt like, you know, I just think this is.
Somebody's at the door. Somebody's at the door.
So they're like, yeah, we're just gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep what did he say? Gino. He's like, yeah, I don't. It wasn't doing anything for me. So I think I'm just gonna not do it anymore. I said, oh, okay, Gino, why didn't you like it anymore? He goes, I was running 8 miles a day and I didn't really need it and didn't feel like it was doing anything for me anyway. So
he didn't feel like Shakeology was doing anything for him?
So he's like, I'm 160. Right now, he's 162 pounds, okay? Our office is doing this thing that they started a competition for 30 days. This just started, okay? They did a weigh-in, which is the dumbest thing ever, but whatever. They did a weigh-in, and they said, everybody, we're going to do a fitness challenge. You have 30 days, and we're going to split the office in half. Half of you this, half of you that, and the half that wins will get a bunch of prizes. So, of course, the people that know that I'm a Beachbody coach, they all came up to me, and they're like, Al, what's up? Like, you need to tell us what's going on, da-da-da-da. Some of them already follow me. So 2 of them are like, listen, all that food you post, is it healthy? Is it like, can I go, it's all healthy. And they're like, oh man, it looks so great. Can you let us know how to make that? I said, listen, let me explain to you about what you guys need to do. So I talk about the portion control, and I'm explaining them the portion control and what it's done and how you're supposed to use it. And, you know, of course, everyone has their whole thing. No, you can't eat carbs. No, you can't eat that. Right. You guys do what you think is best. I'm going to do my best. I said, I tell you what, I guarantee you I lose 10 pounds in the next 2 weeks. How about that? If I lose 10 pounds in the next 2 weeks, you guys you're going to talk to me then? They're like, yeah, we'll see what happens. I said, okay.
Yeah.
You know, competitive. So I'm like, fine,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Now it's on for the next 2 weeks.
They you know, one of the bosses came to me and because she heard another guy who's in the office who does work out a lot, who I may actually get to be a coach because he's been working out for some time. He's not a, you know, the way I was explaining to him is that it can only help him and benefit for his health.
Right.
Trying to explain it to him that it's going to help him, you know, get bulk or, you know, whatever the case may be. He's not that type of a workout type of guy anyway. So when I'm explaining to him everything, he's like, oh yeah, you know, that sounds interesting. So him and I are becoming friends at work, and he's going to probably jump on.
Good.
But he's that follows the same type of outlook. So when one of the bosses came to him, he's like, look, you need to eat carbs. Well, who told you not to eat carbs? And he's explaining the whole thing. And I look at her and I go, hey, that's 2 of us now that told you that. And she's like, oh, okay. And she's like, listen, so tell me, what is it that I need to do? So I like coached her a little bit on it. I gave her a recipe for tzatziki that it's basically, for all of you to know, it's 1 whole serving of protein. It's 1 red. So you take a red container, fill it with Greek yogurt, put it in a bowl, chop up 2 tablespoons of a cucumber seeded, add in a tablespoon of dill, some salt and pepper, and half of a fresh lemon juice. That's your 1 whole serving of protein, and it's a dip. So you'll be able to, I told her you eat that all day if you really wanted to, and you get all protein.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, sounds good.
Simple tzatziki sauce. It's not, you know, out of control crazy, and it's actually traditional Greek tzatziki. So
that sounds yummy. I'm gonna make it.
I
have all those ingredients in my kitchen.
Yeah, see. So I mean, that's been my situation, is dealing with the people that I work with. You know, I bring the bag to work. I let them see me drinking the shakes. They ask a lot of questions. My bosses have asked questions, but it's just been, you know, it's always a slow process. So I'm not frustrated. It's just, it's going to take a while, especially with a whole new group of people.
Right.
And
it takes time.
Yeah. But Christina, I'm trying to get her to friend people on Facebook, but you know, it's tough too, because a lot of the people I work with, I'm one of the older people in the office. So I have a lot of little kids in there.
Right.
And their parents do Shakeology. That's what they say. My parents do it. I don't really want to do that. So it's
because it doesn't seem cool if their parents do it.
You're right. Exactly. So anyway, I'll give you back to Christina. I got to go do MMA power.
All right. Go kick butt.
He talks a lot.
I'm never on the call anyway.
What did he say? He's what?
Sorry. He says he's never on the call. I'm like in the background. I'm like,
you're like, hurry up, hurry up.
What are you talking about?
Did anybody else have anything that they want to talk about?
Yeah, I do. I just don't want to put on my video because I'm lacing cleats right now. So me and Amy are doing a Spring into Fitness like you guys are.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it takes. I don't know what gives, what the difference is between an active group and an inactive group, you know, because I feel like me and her have both kind of stepped back a little bit, because I feel like it's because at least I know for me, I dare to speak for Amy, but nobody is doing anything at all, you know, and it's like, how long can you talk to yourself?
Right.
You know, and I just feel like you start with this big momentum. Everybody's like, yippee-ki-yay, and then 3 days go by and
nothing.
There's nothing. So, like when I started doing the Shakeology ingredient group with you guys, you'll notice I feel like, not that I overstepped, because I know I didn't, but I was brazen, and I was like, hey, fuckers, like adjust your notifications so you can see what we're doing, because
Right.
who knows how many notifications these people are getting, if they're even getting them. And it's just really, really frustrating, because you want to do this and you have this goal in your head, and you know, that's what makes it so frustrating. You know that if these people would just have faith that it would work, and then you're like, can't get anybody to believe in it.
No, I hear you. A lot of my groups are like that. That's why this next group we have coming up, I was like, why don't we not schedule who's going to post what when, and let's just make it to where, even though we're coaches in there, let's be challengers. Let's, we could still post motivation if we feel, we want to post it, but let's do this group similar to how the quarter force test group was, to where everybody was posting. Like, it was active. We were posting and we were sharing and asking questions. Now, Jenna would post something each morning, a little, like, motivational thing or whatever was on the calendar that day for a workout. So obviously we can't do that because it's not one geared thing. But that's why I'm feeling the same way in my groups. They're very, very quiet. And if anybody's posting, it's the same, like one person that posts with me or something like that, So that's why I brought that up for our summer slim down group. Like, why don't we just not worry about scheduling posts or who's going to post this or who's going to post that, and let's be the challengers.
Sorry.
That's okay. Just to see if maybe that's going to make a little bit of a difference. Like, maybe these people feel weird because they feel like we have all the answers and we know everything. And of course we're going to press play because we're coaches and we're supposed to already press play every day. So it's easy for us. So maybe they feel kind of like nervous. I don't know, because a lot of my groups are the same way.
The one girl that was active in our group, she was doing really good. She sent me these before and after pictures after like 5 days. Hold on, baby. And her stomach was starting to flatten, and she was like, I can't believe it. And I said to her, I was like, what do you mean you can't believe it? Look at the freaking pictures. You didn't Photoshop them, did you? I said, it works. Well,
Right.
I don't know what there is to convince you of. And she is so on board. She's kind of like an exception to the rule, because her daughter got put into the hospital because her daughter is the same age as Owen, and she has the same issues as Owen with the respiratory issues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The baby got put into the hospital because she had an upper respiratory infection. So she was in the hospital with the baby, for 3 or 4 days, and she's got a 4-year-old that was home, with her parents and whatever, and those kind of things. Like, I don't care what anybody says about, oh, you just got to keep on doing for you. Bullshit. If your kid is in the hospital, you're not working out unless you're working out in the hospital room, because you're not leaving them.
No, exactly.
But like all the other people that are so gung-ho, and then they do one workout and then they're like, oh, I really liked it. And then
they don't do anything.
What are you supposed to do?
The only thing we can do is just follow up with them. And like Christina was saying, we can't force them, unfortunately. I wish I could. I wish we all could, because these people have they try it. They like it. I had people try it. I had one girl that I've been trying to get on board for the longest time. She tried it for the whole 30 days. She loved the program. She worked out every day. She still works out every day, but she wouldn't get the all access challenge pack, wouldn't even just do all access. I wasn't worried about the challenge pack. Just get yourself the all access if you love it so much. Wouldn't do it.
It's like they feel like if it's too good to be true, it probably is, kind of thing.
I guess. I don't know. And for her, it was money, but she has a gym membership.
Well, like I read you that message that I sent. Back. So just so everybody else knows, this girl I've been talking to back and forth, she's like, I work like a crazy person. I need to lose weight, this and that and the other thing. And then I hadn't talked to her in a couple of days, and she unsolicitedly sent me this text message that I consider to be pretty personal and pretty
very detailed.
Yeah, pretty important. She was like, I just got home from the doctor. The doctor told me that if I don't get my weight down, my AC1s are not going to be in check, and I have a long family history of diabetes. So now it's serious. Now I have to do it. I said to her, because she works 6 days a week, she's a dental office manager, she works crazy hours, and there's always food around. You guys know how it is when you guys work in office settings like that. And I said to her, what you need to do right now is meal plan. I said, I have an extra set of color-coded containers that you can put your stuff in. You could either put it into count and then dump it into something else, or they're sealable. You can just take it with you. I said, I'm not going to charge you. I'll bring it. I actually said to her, tell me where you live because she's local. I'll bring it to you so you have it right now, because you need to stop sabotaging yourself. And I said, and you also need to talk to your boss because your job is affecting your health, obviously. And it was crickets. I was like, what the hell? You told me that you're basically, your doctor's like, you're going to die if you don't lose weight. I'm giving you this option, I'm not charging you for it. So it's not like I'm trying to make money. She even said to me, that's really sweet. Can I pay you for it? I said, no, I don't want your money. I want to help you. And then she stopped talking to me. I was like, am I fucking crazy?
One thing I've learned, because I've had this happen a lot over the last 4 years, is a lot of times, like, it'll just be crickets and they won't answer me. They won't do anything. And then later on, when they're ready, they'll apologize for doing that. And they'll tell me that they did it because they felt that they were letting me down and they were letting themselves down together because they knew it was something they needed to do. And they were afraid that I would be upset with them if they didn't do it. I'm like, I'm not going to be upset with you. It's your health. It's your body. I'm just here to help you and guide you. And I was like, but if it's not something you want to do, that doesn't mean we're not friends and we can't still talk. Right. You don't have to ignore me because you changed your mind. You know what I mean? Like, right. Well, don't be mean.
It's also why, sometimes now my posts, like instead of the flowery motivations, they're kind of like kicking your ass motivational things like that. If you think you don't have time for fitness, then I hope you have more time for healthcare later. Because it's true. That's kind of like the penny wise, pound foolish kind of outlook, like you're trying to save a penny and it's going to cost you $1 in the long run.
Right. Yeah, it's not easy. And this is what I mean. Like, these frustrating things over time, piling on top of each other, can make you feel very burnt out and overwhelmed. That's actually one of the things I wrote on my paper. I'm done hearing excuses.
Right. Well, it just makes me want to just do this for me. And like, if you happen to give me business because of it, then fine. But if not, I'm not going to worry about you anymore. And that's not the way that I should be thinking.
Right. Right. And that's what I mean. Like, these are some of the feelings that I was having that put me into this funk, because I was feeling like, instead of being super excited, I was feeling like it was all a chore, and that's not how I wanted to feel with my business. That's not, I wanted to feel excited. I wanted to feel like I did at the beginning, where you were excited to do your posts and you were excited to do all that stuff. And I think it's because we get very drained running these groups, because sometimes we run a couple groups a month. You're not just running one group that's crickets. You're running a bunch of different groups and they're all crickets. So then you're like, well, what the heck am I doing wrong? I can't even get one person in one of these groups to do something, so it does get tiring. And that's why I wanted to try this summer slim down group a little bit different and make this group for us, but while we help other people, if that makes sense. We'll be the challengers. We're going to hold each other accountable, almost like our own little crew test group, to where we're all going to press play every day. We're all going to focus on our nutrition. I want us all to share our foods, so we can all get different ideas of different recipes. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I get sick and tired of eating the same thing, but I can't think of something else to make. So I'm just going to make the same thing because I know it goes to my meal plan. Things like that. I think that is going to make us all feel really good. you know, kind of being a challenger again. The first time I was ever a challenger was the quarter force test group. And that was like 4 years into me 4 years into me doing anything with the Beachbody business was the first time, because my upline never put me in a challenge group. I just got the stuff and did my own thing, you know? So, and being as a challenger was such a great feeling. I remember me and Amy talking about it, and Christina, we were like, oh, this is so awesome. Like, you just felt so motivated to get up and do your workout. It was great. And the only thing that was different was because it was all coaches, we were all into fitness and into the nutrition. So it was an active group, and it just made you feel so great. So maybe we're going to find it, you know?
Yeah. And it honestly kept me more on track. Like, that was the first time I think like I had ever done a program without a cheat, only on Thanksgiving. I don't even think you did a cheat at all. Like, my cheat was only Thanksgiving. Otherwise I did 38. Now it's so hard to do. And I was like, wait a minute, I've done this before. What is the difference? And I honestly think it's the group, because that group was so active and everybody was posting about, you know, their cravings and everything. But it does make such a difference when you have an active group.
It definitely. Same for me. Like, what I did for Thanksgiving was most of my containers were at Thanksgiving. You know, I just had small things throughout the day, and I even stayed on track. And I even stayed on track in Vegas, because the end of the test group, we were at Winter Summit in Vegas. I lost like 3 pounds, the last 3 pounds while we were away in Vegas. But it was exactly that. It was because it was an active group, so it made you feel like you could stay on track. Same thing for me. I've been doing cheats. I've been drinking here and drinking there. So I'm still doing my program, but I'm maintaining. I haven't like got the 6-pack that I've been trying to get or anything like that, because I've been not 100% on the meal plan, which is fine with me, because that's the balance of life. I've maintained. I haven't gained any weight. But you know what I mean? But it's the difference in the group. That's why I figured, let's just do this one group different, and let's see if maybe we find that like aha moment in a challenge group. Like, maybe it'll be different for whatever challengers we actually put into this one. And reach out to some of your older customers. Reach out to them and see if they want to be a part of this group. They obviously, maybe it'll make them want to start drinking the shakes again and give it another try. You know, but if we keep it active, we need to hold each other accountable as coaches that are doing this group, and we need to stay on it. Like, we need to press play every day. We need to, like, in there, we need to set what our goal is going to be for the 30 days, at least for that. Like, I know we were saying we were thinking about keeping the group open longer, but we need to set, like, okay, I'm going to press play 4 days a week. Like, if you're someone that doesn't press play every day now, and you don't want to say you're going to do every single day, just say, I'm going to press play for 4 days, 3 days a week. I'm going to start with 3 days a week, and set that goal, and let's post them in there. Like, I'll do a post, like when we get off the call or whatever, like a goals post, like, let's all chat, let's all post our goals. Like, what are we going to do in this 30 days? So everybody can kind of comment or whatever. And we could post our goals in there. And then that way we can hold each other accountable to those goals. You know, like, if I say I'm going to work out every single day, if you guys don't see a workout post from me, you can hold me accountable. Like, hey, Tanya, did you do your workout and just forget to post, or, you know, whatever. And then that way we can make it more of an active group. So maybe we could start to feel that passion back for challenge groups. Because I know that's where I don't have a lot of passion in this business, is running challenge groups, because they're so quiet. I feel like I'm doing all this stuff and taking all this time, and I'm doing it for myself because no one's really doing anything. So it's I know how frustrating they are. I have that same frustration. And that's why I wanted to try something different. Just for me, a lot of the stuff in this business is trial and error. Let's try this and see if it works. Let's try this and see if it works. If it doesn't and we failed, well, then at least we know, don't try that again. You know what I mean? So this is one thing we haven't tried yet. So I figured, you know, we could try it. So, does anybody have anything else that they want to talk about before we end the call?
Did you take a picture yet?
I did take one, I think, but I just put it
I have one.
Okay. So you'll have to post it. I just did it from my Snapchat.
Okay.
I put it on Snapchat. I could save it from there, but Natalie has one so she could share it with us.
Okay.
Everybody's good. Nobody has anything else that they need to talk about. Hopefully this call was a little helpful with, you know, being in a funk and how we can get out of it and stuff like that. And, you know, it happens to all of us. So if you're feeling like that, don't feel like you're by yourself. Like, no lie, and Amy could attest to this. I sent her a voice memo, and I was like, I'm reaching out to you because I know whenever I'm feeling like this, you're usually feeling the same way, because me and you are usually twins with stuff like that. I was like, so I'm sure you're feeling the same way. I'm calling to check in with you, but I'm feeling kind of funkish, so I had a feeling you're feeling the same way. So we are not alone with this at all. There's always 1, 2, 3, or all of us that are feeling the same way. So if you're ever feeling like that and you don't want to go down that spiral, reach out to us, because none of us are going to know you're feeling that way unless you let us know, so we can and help you in any way, even if that help is just simply as just being an ear, because you just need to get it all out there, to do that emotional dump verbally maybe, because like when I was talking to Amy and I was saying certain things, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even realize I felt that way. And I wrote it down on my paper. So sometimes just talking to somebody can make you feel a lot better. So I just want to that's why I wanted to do this call. I just felt like I wasn't alone in these feelings, and I needed to kind of do a little research and then pay that forward and share it with you guys. So, all right. Well, if nobody has anything else that they want to chat about, we went a little longer than normal, but I think it was for good cause. So, all right, guys, have a good rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I'm going to go drink my Energize and get my Sweat Fest on before Publix delivers my groceries. Have a good weekend, guys.
Bye, guys.